In today's Private Pilot Ground Lesson 2.1, we're going to talk about compass turning errors. You will need to know this information for your check ride and your FAA written exam. A magnetic compass is the simplest instrument in the panel. It doesn't matter if you're flying a Cessna Skyhawk or a Boeing 767. You will find a magnetic compass in the cockpit of almost any aircraft. The magnetic compass responds to the Earth's magnetic field. This field is constantly pulling one end of the compass's needle, keeping it pointing north. The magnetic compass is subject to several errors that we need to be aware of. During flight, magnetic compasses can be considered accurate only during straight and level flight at constant airspeed. Because the magnets in a compass align with any magnetic field, local magnetic fields in an aircraft caused by electrical current flowing in the structure, nearby wiring, certain metals, or any magnetized part of the structure conflict with the Earth's magnetic field, disturb the compass needles, and cause compass deviation error. Magnetic deviation changes with heading, whereas magnetic variation changes with location. Magnetic variation is the difference between true north and magnetic north. We will talk more about magnetic variation in future lessons. Inside the magnetic compass is a small magnetic needle that is connected to a circular compass card. Both the card and the needle are free to rotate around a central pivot. One end of the needle, called the north-seeking end, always points towards the North Pole. As you fly around in your airplane, the needle attempts to remain stationary. As the airplane changes direction, the north-seeking end of the magnetic compass needle continues to point to the magnetic North Pole. Since the magnetic needle is attached to the compass card, the appropriate heading appears under the reference line, also called lubber line. One of the issues with magnetic compasses in airplanes is acceleration error. In the Northern Hemisphere, deceleration error occurs when on an east or west heading. A magnetic compass will indicate a turn toward the north during acceleration when on an east or west heading. So, if I'm flying west and I decide to accelerate, my magnetic compass will indicate a turn toward the north. Even though I'm flying straight ahead, when I accelerate, my magnetic compass indicates a turn toward the north. A magnetic compass will indicate a turn toward the south during deceleration when on an east or west heading. So, if I'm flying west and I decide to decelerate, my magnetic compass will indicate a turn toward the south. Even though I'm flying straight ahead, when I decelerate, my magnetic compass indicates a turn toward the south. Deceleration error does not occur when on a north or south heading. We use the memory aid ENS, which stands for accelerate north, decelerate south. Another type of error is compass turning error. In the Northern Hemisphere, compass turning error occurs when turning from a north or south heading. When turning from a north heading, a magnetic compass will, at the start of a turn, indicate a turn in the opposite direction, then lag behind the actual heading. If turning to the east, the compass will initially indicate a turn to the west and then lag behind the actual heading until your airplane is headed east, at which point there is no error. If turning to the west, the compass will initially indicate a turn to the east and then lag behind the actual heading until your airplane is headed west, at which point there is no error. A magnetic compass will lead the turn when turning from a south heading. Turning errors do not occur when turning from an east or west heading. These errors diminish as the acceleration, deceleration, or turns are completed. For this, we use the memory aid UNOS, which stands for undershoot north, overshoot south. I hope today's lesson was helpful. If so, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future private pilot ground school lessons. And if you're interested in doing your private pilot ground school online directly with me and have me sign you off to take your FAA private pilot written exam, please reach out at chickswhoflyofficial@gmail.com.